For sure. Yeah, but this is, I mean, this is LinkedIn 101, man. This is just,
Yeah, everything. I guess I like the positivity, right? But it's like everyone on LinkedIn has to be like some inspiring, savior.
yeah, but like at the same time, it's also crazy because it's such a positivity that is incredibly fake. It's like a boosting positivity. Like, let me
Yeah.
be positive because it's perceived well if I am.
Hmm.
And let me find some way to justify some type of behavior and phrase it in a way where it makes me look good. And this is why you should follow and be exactly like me. So I wanted to share this with you as well because I think it's just, I don't know if this is satire or not. If this isn't satire, I think this is absolutely terrible. Every morning I make my daughter the worst porridge in the world on purpose. No sugar, no fruit, no honey, no carton sheet toppings. And it's just all about, look, it's expectation management. It
Can
does look
handle
really.
blanded five. She can handle boardrooms at 25.
This is so insane. I hope this is fake. I really hope this is fake. Like,
Honestly, I don't think it is.
oh my god. LinkedIn is it's a different ball game. It's a different breed.
Yeah. I mean, this is something like I could usually see someone in SF saying something like this.
Really? Like
Yeah.
you're out in a coffee and you just overhear a conversation and you hear this Vic Gambir, you just see hear him speak like that as well. Just like I also imagine these LinkedIn bros
No, but they
too.
don't speak like this in real life, I think. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I think it's like LinkedIn echo chamber is just you see a bunch of these, and I think everyone's kind of just like, well, some people probably are just even, using Claude to write the posts. Um, and like, hey, like make it sound like my natural voice, you know.
That
Um,
is terrible. I mean, I can imagine it. I mean, I would say it would be hilarious if these LinkedIn bros just speak exactly like they write. I think that would make it so much funnier, but I agree. But if you speak about AI, there's one using AI to interview. This one also really struck me. It's like my team caught someone who sent an AI to interview in their place. It sounds so crazy that I didn't believe it until I reviewed the transcripts. Now, obviously, AI conversation, but the end of this is just thank goodness we're using AI to screen our candidates. Otherwise, we might have wasted our time talking to someone who can't even be bothered to show up to a call. So, what they're essentially saying is that they used an AI to screen interviews and then were upset because one of the interviewees used AI. I feel like he fits right into the company. I don't see
yeah.
the I don't see the issue with that. He's right in the culture.
Well, the other irony is, I mean, I think this is probably satire, but um, basically, if you're a human, you would have picked it up its AI immediately and saved the 14 pages of transcripts.
Yeah.
Because
This-
AI doesn't know it's AI.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, this is insane. I mean, we've really come to a different era of the job market if shit like that is going on. But all right, what else we got? This one I found funny. I mean, given that I was also invited to your wedding, I was wondering if this is something that you did
Okay, I don't know if
perhaps at
this is
yours.
like LinkedIn specific, but yeah, this. I mean, I don't do this because first of all, I didn't go to IIT, but even if I did, I probably wouldn't do it. But yeah, but this is such a big deal in India. Um, like it's a status symbol that hey, my kid has gone to like basically the MIT of India. Um, this is funny. There's actually a website called IITIIMshadi.com, which means like the top business school, top tech schools, like marriage. Like it's like a marriage broking system for like people in these elite schools.
No way.
It's there.
What is this like Indian elite
Yeah,
Tinder?
basically, but for like really academically gifted people,
And
apparently.
like, is it like the parents go on there or the people? Is it like, like, oh, my kid goes to IT, so I'm just gonna browse his like the
I don't
wife?
know, but I wouldn't be surprised because like most of these like brokerages are managed like at least the profiles are managed by the parents. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
That
But
is
it could be like individuals as well.
that is crazy, man. This whole wedding culture in India just seems so crazy and different, man.
It's well, yeah, it's very much like, hey, these are the metrics. These metrics have to check. And then like, yeah, if you have a personality, she has a personality, it's like it's cool, whatever. Which is kind of it's literally flipped backwards to what you should be doing, right? Yeah.
That's crazy. I have a friend who told me one of the most insane stories I've ever heard. So he's Indian as well, and he also lives here in Lisbon. And he had a friend. So his dad calls him, or like the family calls him. They're back in India. Like, hey, you need to come. You need to come. Your dad is sick. Your dad's in a hospital. You need to come back to India. So the dude is scrambling. He's like trying to get money to get a ticket to fly back to India. And then he gets to India and he's super stressed out. And then his entire family is there, including his dad. And they're like, "Oh, by the way, I'm not sick, but we got you a wife." So so it's just a plot for him to get married in India, and it's just what the fuck.
Damn. Yeah, marriage can be like pretty messed up in India. I think it's changing now, but yeah, this still exists. There's like a large population that does this kind of stuff. But if you're like, I guess, more sane and exposed to like proper like realities and not just following the herd, then yeah, you can be fine. But I mean, there's still metrics, right? It's like, okay, like at least you can choose the partner you want from the pool, but the pool is still determined by like almost algorithms, right? It's like, hey, this kind of background, this kind of like, salary, blah blah blah. It's like if you look at it like that, it's like very not human to human. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. And so I guess you can also just put your the school you went to on the wedding invite.
People would do anything to, I don't know, to have a brand and status.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, I guess that fits right into that one. Employee came to me asking for a raise. He couldn't afford his rent, so I let him sleep in the storage cupboard at work, rent free. Problem solved. And then that's what separates managers from leaders.
Okay, this is pretty real, I'd say. This culture is like not new to SF. Like I've seen companies that have mattresses in the office and shit, so that people can just like sleep and then wake up and work again. Um, yeah, this is
Fuck.
coming back to the 996 bullshit.
Definitely, but I mean, just also, I like the line at the end. That's what separates managers from leaders. You could have also given him a raise, right?
Can we check?
But
Can we check the comments on this one? I wonder what
comment,
the comments are saying, bro. Like,
comment,
yeah, excellent.
well, sarcasm of Saturday. But I don't think that's like the LinkedIn comments.
I
The Reddit
yeah.
comments are like, "I'll take it. Technically, it's a 2,000 a month raise depending on the city. I'll take it."
Some people
Oh my
would.
god, some people would. Oh my god. Yeah, this is This comment
Genius.
as well.
That's like a LinkedIn comment, basically.
Yeah, now the worker can't quit because they'll lose their home, and then management can hang the threat of being sacked like a sword of Damocles and make the worker do whatever they want. That is really modern slavery. Like, this is really, oh god. Uh, oh my god. But it's so deranged. It's so interesting what happens with LinkedIn and work culture. What else we got?
Yeah,
This one I absolutely love too.
I saw this one. This is stupid.
Leaving early yesterday. Hi Ryan. I noticed you headed out a little early yesterday, 4:57 p.m. While we appreciate your work, we need to make sure we're being fair to the rest of the team who stay until the end of the workday. To make up the time deficit, you can either take a slightly shorter lunch today or stay until 5:03 this evening. Let's make sure we're watching the clock a bit closer moving forward.
I don't know. I really hope that's like fake.
Yeah, I really hope so too. But I can totally see one of those people to be like, I don't want to say these people, but like, like one of those high performers, let's call them that, are like so old, but this breeds a bad habit. We need to shut it down before it becomes 4:55, you know.
Hmm.
But this is just so insane.
Yeah. And then there's like Brian Johnson who posts like more productivity hacks and stuff. I kind of like look, yeah, he is an extreme guy, but I think he's doing some cool shit. Like it's like he's basically pushing his himself to peak uh performance or like striving for it, and then treating himself as an experiment to then like record the results and then share with the people. I mean, like one post he posted recently was about having an extended fast before you sleep, and that increases the quality of your sleep and the quality of your day the next day, like in terms of energy levels and focus. So yeah, everything. Just like so he has his last meal like I think he said 6 to 8 hours before he sleeps, which is assuming he sleeps at like 9 or 10, um probably like 4 p.m. Yeah, which is a bit extreme, but yeah, but I think you should. Yeah, I think like if you have your last meal by like 5 or 6, then that's pretty healthy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be said about productivity culture. I think it can, as long as it's not overly obsessive, I think it's nice to push the boundaries to like see what's the best. But I think it's also important to live life, and I think it's
Mhm.
admirable that he wants to do this to like further human advancement. While at the same time, I'm like, okay, if that's how you feel like you want to spend this round in the samsara, then go for it. Like if this
That's
is
see,
it,
look,
then go
that this
for
is
it.
what I mean. Like, this is why I think it's important not to prescribe your formula on others. He's like, that's his calling. Like, he wants to do this to achieve, like, push the limits of human uh capacity and like experiment and all that stuff. Like, most people don't really want to do that. They'll use those insights and be like, okay, like I'll probably improve my sleep by like eating a bit earlier, you know. Like I'm not gonna do 4 p.m., but yeah, I'll probably eat a bit earlier, a bit healthier. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it can be a good thing. Um, let's see the other two things that were here. This one, it reminded me of what we said about dating culture before. So, to the pretty girl in the corner of the Starbucks I'm in at Franklin, Tennessee. I see you here every time I come in, and you're always on LinkedIn. Well, just in case you follow me and you're single, I figured I'd let you know. I'm Mike, but if you follow me and are not single, then you can ignore this because a cat clearly crawled over my keyboard. And it's like, I mean, I appreciate the honesty, and I mean that's a way to shoot your shot, but like,
Wait, what
damn.
honesty? the cat really typed all
No,
that.
definitely not the cat part, but like just the also the hashtags like headphones in, hashtag awkward to say hi, probably a little nervous. I mean, a bit cringy, not just a bit, but it's crazy that we reached the point of instead of talking to someone in person, making a LinkedIn post is crazy.
Yeah, they're definitely like social awkwardness and anxiety. It's pretty. I didn't realize how prevalent it was when I was traveling. Especially because like I was hanging out with people and meeting people like you, very friendly. Like I didn't even think, I have to plan like my approach so that I don't get rejected or something. Like that's not even a thought that comes up. But I think people really overthink these things, and especially in SF, I would say like, yeah, like I have personal experience with meeting people who definitely overthink talking to girls or whatever.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That nod was so deep. Like, yeah, bro, you have no
Yeah,
idea.
dude, you have no idea.
All right. Well, then just last LinkedIn one that I just also found a bit. It's a bit interesting because first of all, I'm not really sure what that's doing on LinkedIn. Um, but I don't think Tyler says I don't think it's ever appropriate, and he puts that in caps, to have opposite sex heterosexual friends once you're married. You have couple friends, guys have guy friends, girls have girlfriends. Guys should never have girlfriends they text, talk to, or hang with without their wives, and vice versa. It's inviting trouble, and to be honest, it's just weird. I barely have any free time to hang with the guys that are my friends playing pickleball, shooting guns. That's how you know it's American, etc. I can't even fathom why I would have a female friend outside my wife for. One
Mm.
exception only. My 10-year-old daughter is my best buddy.
I used to follow.
Yeah.
I mean, it says on its like title.
Yeah. Christ. And inspiration and hope. I mean,
Yeah.
that's certainly inspirational. I just saw on Reddit like the top comment under this was someone saying like, okay, that's a very aggressive way to broadcast to the world and your wife that you would not be able to be faithful if you would be in a room with another woman. And yeah, I don't know. Like it's to me, this is kind of the same output of what we just talked about in the sense of being so overly worried to talk to women or to have this social thing, where if that's what you see people of the opposite sex as, is just like romantic tension and no friendships or anything like that. I think it's related to that. Just talk to them. They're
Yeah,
people.
this is a good example because I think like the truth is usually somewhere in the middle. It's not, hey, you like for in this example, he's basically saying if I were to hang out with female friend, like then at someday I'm gonna lapse or there is a possibility of lapsing and like, something happens, right? The similar analogy to that is if you're working out and you're trying to lose weight, you want to clean up your closet so you have only healthy options to choose from. But let's say you put in chocolates in your cupboard as well, then every day you look at the chocolates, you're like tempted to eat the chocolate and screw up your routine. So I get that perspective. He's kind of like eliminating his options so he doesn't fall or cave if he does. Um, but yeah, like I guess in the ideal situation, you shouldn't be like that tempted, right? To even fall, but I guess yeah. But I think look again, this is again coming back to my thing. It's like, look, if he needs to do that, fine, that's cool. But like don't tell me that like everyone is feeling the same shit. Like I don't think everyone needs to freaking just not talk to women to be faithful, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I think it's also the way it's phrased. Like, I don't think it's ever appropriate to have opposite
Yeah,
sex
that's what I'm saying.
heterosexual friends.
because he's prescribing his situation and treating it as like, hey, this is what every man goes through.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. And it's like that to me is so strange because I agree with that. Like, of course, if you it's one thing if it's like, okay, you have this friend that you had something with like years ago or whatever, or it's like always flirty, different situation. But like to assume that every time like there's a friend that is like just romantic tension in the air, I don't know. Like I have female friends and it's just it's hanging out. But as
Mhm,
you say, it's like it's not, I guess, the same for everyone. But interesting take. Interesting take for sure.
mhm. Yeah, man, LinkedIn.
So sometimes all you need to say. LinkedIn is a world of its own.
For sure. Dude, social media is like really bad these days, dude. It used to be actually pretty decent, but everyone's like, it's become, at some point, it was like too many ads. It still has a lot of ads, but now everyone is themselves becoming an ad for a lifestyle that they're portraying is like ideal or something. But everything, look, everything's driven by engagement farming. So I think like half of the shit they're saying they don't even do, they're probably manifesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Like I even catch myself doing that where I'm also like, it's just social media. Like it doesn't matter if it's a bit too dramatic or over exaggerated or whatever, because it's the game, right? Like this is how you play social media. But it's crazy because we're creating a delusional world that everyone
Hmm.
is just on in the internet. And then I think people are starting to take that into real life. Like as much as we also joked about those LinkedIn posts and the people that speak LinkedIn in person, like of course it might not happen so much these days, but I think we're certainly heading in that direction where people are just so engaged in the digital world that that is obviously also brought in way more in the physical. And we've seen that already a lot, but I think that's only going to increase.
Hmm. Yeah. On a random tangent or semi-random, have you heard about like the California sort of the billionaire tax?
No.
Okay, so the California politics is basically trying to propose the Billionaire Tax Act, um, which like it's aimed at like they're trying to make it effective on November this year. Basically, it's trying to impose a 5% tax on the net worth of individuals with assets above $1.1 billion, right? So basically, it's trying to tax the billionaires more, right? Um, it sounds nice. It sounds like, hey, this Robin Hood kind of situation. But so it's saying like the one-time 5% on net worth with options to pay over 5 years, though this might cost more. 90% is intended for healthcare, specifically Medicaid, with 10% for education. So they basically trying to redistribute billionaire net worth for Medicare, food, and stuff. And I'm like, dude, first of all, if you know Californian tax in general, everyone's paying ridiculous amount of tax just to live here. Like 30%, it's usually more than 30% at the end of the day, right? Like if you hear of like a 200K salary, the take home salary after a tax is like almost half of that after tax. Like almost. So it's like probably 120K. So 80K is going to taxes just on a 200K salary. So my point is like it's not a lack of funds problem. Like they have funds, they're just not allocating it properly, and they're just blaming sort of the billionaires, saying like, "Hey, you guys have so much money, like we need the money for Medicare and stuff." I'm like, "Okay, well, what happened to the other billions that you have? Like why aren't you, using that?" I don't know. This is, I mean, I think it's like it's easy to blame rich people for everything, but in this case, I don't think that's like you're actually probably hurting the state more now because I think that's going to push away like companies from trying to have their primary tax residence in California, and then you're hurting the employment, and then yeah, just the state suffers. Um,
Man, I
yeah,
don't
what do you
know.
think?
I don't know. I don't know enough about economics to really make like a clear cut decision. Like my first impression would be okay if it's based on assets that the billionaires already own, then I mean, come on, like if you have $1 billion, what else do you need? So if they pay a little bit more in order to help people, okay. Now, the other problem with this is, though, how much of this money is actually going to people in need? Because we talk
Mm,
about two different problems here. I think the state is dysfunctional, and or the system rather is dysfunctional. And I think so. It's like, yeah, if you tax billionaires more, it might also just lead to a lot of billionaires just registering their primary residence somewhere else, which most of them are already registered in some islands anyway. So it's just a nice headline. And then it's like, okay, so let's tax them a little bit more money for Medicare. It sounds nice, but then usually how these governments operate, it doesn't necessarily seem like a lot of people actually benefit. And this is the sad part about the system, because this is just like whoever right now is the governor of California, or whoever sits there is probably going to lean back and say, oh, now the people think I'm doing one thing for them, because people want the rich to be taxed, the rich to be distributing their money more, and they want to live a better life. So, of course, for political campaigns, it looks great to say something like that.
mm,
But what it is in theory and what it is when it actually plays out is a completely different ball game. So I think it's like it's a good initiative, while at the same time I'm like, well,
yeah,
what's gonna happen?
I
Like
mean, here's the thing, right? Like, why is California the highest tax state and arguably the lowest in terms of equality of quality of life for like I think compared to other US states, right? Like and they don't have like there's zero tax like state tax states that have better quality of life than California, you can argue, right? So my point is like I agree that yeah, like the sentiment feels nice, but it's like okay, show me how you're using funds right now and show me where that lack of resources is. Because I really doubt it's a lack of resources, you know?
no, especially because I mean, and we can talk about the whole aspect of money itself, right? I mean, one thing that's always, I mean, ever since I kind of found out about it or looking into the history of money and how it works a little bit, it's crazy that, for example, the US, they're like $60 trillion in debt, something like that. And it's okay. I mean, who are they indebted to? Who knows? But also, it's just, it's printed more and more. So I don't know. The whole system to me is just at this point where if we don't use the golden standard money anymore, because that was cut short with the Federal Reserve Act, I think it's like okay, well, then why can't we just print more money? And it's like yeah, inflation and those things and everything matters, but then everything matters, but then everything doesn't matter. To me, money and the way the system works right now doesn't make any sense. And so it's exactly like that. Like, oh, let's say they're taxed more as a headline because it looks good for politics, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything because the
Mhm.
billionaires probably don't pay anything more. Maybe one billionaire was like, I'm staying in California so they can have 5% of my running assets, the one that he registered. And the other 20 billion that run on offshore accounts are like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, like, yeah, like it's a nuanced conversation because I think they're saying like, look, there's long-term capital gains tax, right? Which is how you tax assets, which like over 12 months. But usually billionaires have like these loopholes they exercise where they take out a loan on their assets. And so effectively, let's say I need $1 million, I'm a billionaire. Instead of selling $1 million of shares, I take a loan on my existing shares and from the bank and get the $1 billion there. And I'll get like maybe the premium is like less than 10% or close to 10%, let's say. Even if it's 10% is better to pay off than whatever, like long term is like probably 30% or something, close to 30%, right? So I think maybe they'll probably say that's why we're doing this. Um, but I don't know. To me, it just sounds like income tax itself should cover the resources that California needs.
I mean, but that's in general, it's such a big discussion. If you talk about high taxes, I mean, Germany, that's regular. Like you get 50%. I mean, it depends on the tax bracket you're in, but usually if you're a regular worker, single, it's around 50% plus a lot of the social care that Germany also installs that is
But I would say
mandatory.
like Germany at least has really good systems for everyone, right? Plus, like there's like correct me if I'm wrong. I believe there's some kind of subsidy for unemployed people.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so um, I mean, I need to. I haven't looked at the actual state of things, but it sounds like public healthcare, education, like basic sustenance is like at least addressed in countries like Germany. Whereas here,
Yeah,
that's why you have so many homeless people in California.
yeah. I mean, definitely the US is more extreme when it comes to that, and Germany does have a lot of nets, but it's also it's falling apart right now. I think it used to be working really well, but it's reached a point where, especially because Germany has such an influx of people coming into the country, that it's starting to be really tricky. But like, for example, like just because that in itself is a controversial topic, and I know way too little about all of that. But for example, there's something in Germany called Rundfunkgebühren. So it's mandatory for every person to pay, I think it's 20 euros a month for the state media. So
Oh,
that is insane because then the state media technically has a budget of like 10 billion euros a year to
hmm
like
hmm
spend and produce content and media. And you pay this fee even if you don't own a television or a radio in your house. Like everyone needs to pay this, even when you don't do it. And even they ask for more money and they're like, hey, we need more money in order to do. And I'm like, you get 10 billion a year to produce like what you have a studio that's probably been set there for I don't know how many years, and then it's insane to me, and this is like
mm
I think this is a good example to bring up in this case of like there is so much budget. Why do
hmm
you need more, and what do you actually do with that money? Because
yeah,
I feel like we've reached this point where it's been so long running and money has been so imaginary that probably there are people that are like paid off with some crazy deals, like maybe some moderators or actors who like get I don't know how much, but then still 10 billion a year and you're still asking for more
no,
money. It's like,
that
what are
just
you?
that just sounds to me that like they're not using like money properly, right?
No.
Like how is 10 like how is even 1 billion not enough? Okay, but okay, let's say okay 10 billion. How's that not enough? If that's not enough, then you have a problem with spending,
Yeah,
especially like with something like media. I can't imagine it would cost that kind of money. I don't know
yeah,
much about the business, but I do know like what is there really?
yeah.
Maybe like
Eh,
equipment, paying producers, paying editors, whatever. Like I don't know. Like how can that even cost 10 billion?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, I just checked it up just to be secure, and it's in 2025 or 2023 here. It's 9.02 billion euro. So it's literally close to 10 billion, and they're still complaining. And it's like they wanted to increase it in 2025. And it's like, what do you mean? Because as you say, like, okay, you have a studio, you have a cast, you have equipment, all those things cost money. 9 billion a year? And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have never seen like a, oh, look at the Academy Award winning German state produced movie, because that doesn't happen. It's not like they produce films that cost like 700
Even
million.
$100 million films, right? Like, you know, I've never heard of
Exactly.
$1 billion budget for a film.
No, I mean, I think the video games are in the billion, in the
Really?
billion. I'm not sure. I think GTA 6, I read something like maybe for being the first $1 billion game. I could be wrong. But let's say, like, I think what's the highest cost film
Damn, you
ever
are right.
produced? Yeah?
That's insane. But I think it's mostly on marketing, like development and marketing. Yeah, billion to $2 billion.
I mean,
Jesus.
production costs has been running for years too, and probably also the server costs that they have and something like that. But I'd say the highest budget movie, I could also be wrong with this, but I think Avatar with like 400 million euro budget was one of the highest ever. Maybe that's top nowadays.
Hmm.
But like that's Hollywood blockbuster movies, and Germany isn't producing them. So it's like, what are we doing with that nine? What are we doing with that 9 billion bucks? And it's like the same with those California things of like, let's get more money and fluctuating.
Yeah.
Everyone needs more money and all that. But it's like, okay, but where does it effectively go?
Yeah.
It's like you see that in Germany all the time too, like construction sites by the government. That's just like, it seems like official money laundering. It's like it's projects that cost like 500 million euros, and you look at the project and you're like, are you serious? It's like just fixing like a point of the road, and it's like I'm sure that's expensive, but 500 million. There's
Yeah.
no way that this would regularly cost 500 million, but probably someone knows someone from the construction company, and then there's this other deal involved or whatnot. And it's like, I feel like we've really reached a point where like everyone just, I don't know. I don't want to be anarchistic, but I feel like the system that we live in right now is like, man, what are we doing? Can we
Yeah.
just all just, it seems so graspable for all of us to just all have that patch of dirt, a house, create our family, live a good life, because there's so much money in the world that should be out of question for everyone. And yet we find ways on how to distribute money so that we live in an absolutely abundant society, whilst people in other parts of the world and even our own countries are starving to death. And it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
you can say maybe they're not posting on LinkedIn that they have a crush of the Starbucks waiter, and maybe they don't live a productive enough lifestyle. Sure. And maybe, we talk about the drive of capitalism. I think it's nice for people to have an incentive to do good work and to contribute to society. I agree with all of that. But at the same time, I'm also like, man, if we universal base income or something like that, right? If AI gets us there, who knows? But like, we got to change something, because this is just bizarre, just
Yeah,
bizarre.
dude. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. That's basically, yeah. I guess point is like people just not addressing the actual root cause. And this is where I'm like, look, this is all just freaking politics. Like it doesn't even actually matter. Like if you really cared, you would do it right now. You like they have the resources like to have better Medicare or whatever they're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's about getting reelected. It's like,
Yeah.
that's the crazy thing. It's like, I don't know what it is. I think it's with government budgets also, where like if you don't spend a certain amount of budget in a year, your budget gets shortened the year after. And so you hear it all of the time that all of these institutions want to and need to spend more money so that they have access to more money the next year, even though they don't use it. So it's like we're playing this game where everyone is just inflating money themselves, like
Hmm.
not just the economy, but like we're making it less valuable by everything, and yet it is the one thing that we all seek after. Like, oh, once I
Yeah.
have the X amount of money, I can do this. And I think it's true. Money is power and it gives us a lot of freedom, but like, it can't be the only focus.
Yeah. Very easily. Yeah, we're moving towards, I mean, we're already kind of there, but like the lines between synthetic reality and natural reality just like blurring. Um, Even like I saw this like brief clip with Matthew McConaughey and Timothy Chalamet. The like someone asked about AI, I guess, and even Matthew McConaughey was like, "Dude, yeah, it's here. The lines between, exactly what I said, like the lines are blurring." Um, and he wouldn't be surprised if they see even like, complete AI generated movies coming out that compete with like blockbuster films. So yeah, it's just we're living in a very weird world. Um, and even with YC is like the top startup accelerator in the world, right? Now they used to, like their age old saying was like, "Hey, build something people want," as in to input like to basically focus on the fact that like, hey, don't just build random stuff. Like focus on the user, like who actually needs this, right? It makes sense. Now the focus has changed to build something agents want, because everyone's building AI agents, right? And we're moving towards an autonomous future where agents and agents interact. So now it's like, hey, focus on that future and build for that future.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest startup, like the best,
No,
most.
I mean that's like yeah, the biggest accelerator right now. But like that's basically where the mindset is. Like it's like, look, that's the future, or that's almost the present right now. Like everyone's kind of building agents, but now everyone's trying to build like agent infrastructure, different ways of agents interacting with each other. But yeah, like it's funny because they used to say build something people want. Now it's build something agents want, because agents are the middle layer now, like, or that's what's predicted to happen. Is like, hey, your agent will manage your life basically, right?
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, I saw something just today about vibe coding, where like someone in apparently just over a weekend vibe coded Palantir, and it was like him using Google Earth and putting it together with like real life data of flight trackers and seismographic things, and it's like this looks straight up out of a spy movie. And apparently one of the head people of Palantir also commented about this thing he coded, and that also made me think like, okay, he did this in 3 days.
Hmm.
Like, what? It's crazy.
It's really insane what's possible now. Um, yeah, but I mean, like you still, I find it so funny and and actually kind of like short-sighted when I was speaking to like there was a lot of people even just like last year saying like, hey, like, yeah, software engineer is not going to get replaced. Like you can't really, like, AI generates really messy code. It's not functional, blah blah blah. But I'm like, dude, you're not understanding that 5 years before this time, like you wouldn't have dreamt AI if even creating a prototype for you. Like, so you're not considering the exponential growth of the technology itself. So at this rate of growth, dude, freaking next year, like already today, Anthropic, all of its employees apparently like are not writing code. They're just using AI. And they're reviewing, of course, what the code is doing, but they're not writing from scratch. Even I'm not. Like most of my work is like making sure the code works, making sure the coding patterns are good, making sure the functionality works the way it should, and then yeah, we're good to go. you know. But yeah, like that requires technical knowledge to understand all of that stuff. But I can easily see this also like being solved. Like,
Definitely. Like just
yeah.
get an AI review, just really good at reviewing code and the details. It's like it's same with like with Matthew McConaughey said. I remember at Web Summit as well. There was this guy who also created one of the first AI Hollywood studios, you know. And
Mm.
seeing the quality of that was like, oh, okay, we're fucked. You know, like that was really like as a filmmaker and as someone who's really like wanting to dive in that industry, was also like, okay, either I'm joining this or like either I think you can go two ways. It's like you say, like the synthetic or the natural. And I think either you go full on hard documentaries that are human centered, real stories and those types of things. But if you're doing a sci-fi movie,
Mm.
brother, you can definitely cut your budget down by a long while if you
Dude,
use
and the
AI.
quality is really freaking good. Like
Yes.
the videos, and even music. So there's this like trending TikTok slash Instagram song, I think, that Papuate or whatever, Papuati or whatever. Remember that like African soul song?
No, beats me.
Um, Wait, we have to play that.
Uh,
Uh, Trending Afro soul AI. It's an AI generated song.
fuck.
At first, I was like, "Wow, this guy sings really well." Yeah, Papuate. It's an AI generated song that was trending in early 26. And it sounds like kind of gives you like a Lion King feeling. And I was like, wow, this is really deeply moving music. Wait, I don't know if you can hear this. You can't, right?
Can you put it on screen? Like maybe if you screen share. All right. I can hear it.
Que lorsqu'on cherche bien, on finit toujours par trouver. Elle dit qu'il n'est jamais très loin, qu'il
That's
part très
great.
souvent travailler.
Cool.
Perfect.
Um, yeah, man, that song I think is a remix of I think Stromae. Have you heard of
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yes,
he had a
yes.
song called Papuate, and then this is a Afro Soul remix. But this whole remix was AI generated. And when I heard it, I was like, wow, I didn't know it was AI generated when I first heard. I was like,
Mhm.
wow, this is like really good. Like the vocals, it's like very moving. And it's trending, dude. It's trending like crazy on like socials. Um, and then I figured out it was an AI generated song. I was like, wow,
I
it's
mean,
insane.
they're the first full AI artists and everything also on Spotify getting like millions of monthly listeners.
Hmm.
It's crazy. I This is one thing I really dislike about AI. It's this thing of like the expectation that everyone had was like, oh, AI is gonna do all the shit we don't like. And now it's doing all the stuff
It's
humans
we
love.
like.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like it's so frustrating. It's like, oh, AI is doing music, art, whatever. It's like, and we're out here still doing our taxes. I mean, we're
Yeah, this literally doing the opposite of what we thought it would do. It's like we were promised, hey, AI is going to do all the boring shit. We can do all the creative stuff. AI is doing all the creative stuff and the boring stuff, you know?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Probably more of the creative stuff than the boring stuff, but yeah.
I was gonna say, I think this is really like way more in the creative industry, and it's so crazy. Like, what was there's also a LinkedIn post. I didn't show that one, but it fits very well into this conversation. Where a dude on LinkedIn was also like, "Yeah, people are complaining AI takes too much energy and water. I think what we should do instead is just limit streaming everywhere to 480 pixels because that is also costing a lot of energy." And then some of the comments was like, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what we want. We want more AI slop, of art, but then we need to watch human creations in like lower resolution." I think that's
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah. So the AI stuff is kind of like mind mending. Like it doesn't even make sense. I don't know what's happening to my brain when I watch that.
Yeah, that's true. It's also an interesting study, like the subconscious effect of AI content. Like,
Mm,
is subconsciously, whether or not we can consciously identify something as AI or not, could we? Is there any change? Is our brain that is so complex, is it somehow picking up that something is made by an artificial source rather a natural one?
mm. Well, it's getting really close to reality. Like
Yeah.
so, I don't think we're gonna distinguish, but that's the point, right? It's gonna be scary.
Yeah.
But hey, if like we can create freaking Oscar grade movies, let's do it.
Yeah, AI flicks just being like, yo, I'm gonna upload a picture of myself. Let me be in a Morocco movie, 1960. Give me like a Kate Bush type actress next to me and have it be an Indiana Jones like adventure film. And you just press create, and then you're just watching this AI thing. And I
Damn,
don't
that's
think
gonna happen. That's definitely gonna
that's
happen.
that's definitely gonna happen. I don't think we're
You
far
can
away
do
from
that. I mean, you can do that. It's just a matter of like engineering it for that use case, basically.
Yeah, and bandwidth, because I think
Yeah,
usually like if you do AI videos now, it's like what, limited to like a minute maybe.
yeah. The editing's gonna be like the most of the work, like generating a multiple like 1 minute clips. But theoretically, you could do it, right?
Oh god.
But hey, like, give me $1 million budget, I'll create a fucking film like that. I don't even need $1 million for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just like yeah, compile all these 1 minute videos together.
That's crazy. I guess the coherence is the most difficult thing, right? To have like the same AI model in all of those
Hmm.
shots. Um,
I think it can be solved because you would basically feed the previous clip as like I think like some kind of like system input, and then you tell it, hey, create the next scene based on this. Like,
we're not far away from it for sure.
yeah.
Not far away. It might just be also like it creates itself while you watch it. So it's not like it's fully rendered, but like you just, it like you're watching it with the AI in a very weird way.
Mm, that's
And
fun.
then you have it in your brain chip, so it analyzes how you feel and then it knows what to render in to keep you entertained.
Dude, you just created $1 billion startup right there.
That's true. And I hate it. And I'm laughing about this, but this shit might just be reality one day.
Yeah.